The meet and confer process is designed to allow both parties an opportunity to reach agreement on important issues about discovery early in the discovery process. The goal of this meeting is to develop a plan for the preservation of data, documents, and other evidence that may be important to discovery. The best method for litigators and parties involved in litigation to avoid electronic discovery sanctions and wasted expense: stipulate to key technical specifications via an electronically stored information or ESI protocol. There are a variety of subjects that should be covered in a Rule 26F meet and confer. First, create a reasonable but thorough approach to identify all sources of potentially relevant electronic evidence. Decide on a method to identify priority custodians who can be reasonably expected to have the most knowledge of the underlying issues versus tertiary custodians that would be expensive to pursue yet likely yield little value in resolving the dispute. Determine a definition of the relevant time period that the dispute covers. Next, create a method to identify and agree upon easily accessible electronic evidence versus inaccessible evidence that would be expensive and potentially unnecessary to retrieve. Decide search and filtering methodologies, such as keywords and date ranges, to reasonably limit the amount of electronic evidence to be reviewed and produced. Determine the form and format for electronic productions. Finally, identify specific metadata fields, such as author and sent date, that will be produced. Determine a reasonable method to handle structured data, such as accounting databases, as well as specify a clawback provision in the event privileged or protected information is accidentally produced. And remember, one of the most important things you can do when preparing for a meet and confer is to determine whether it makes sense to have a forensic expert or EDD consultant on hand to ascertain that any agreements are both feasible and appropriate. Meet and confer is an important step in the discovery process, and if done properly, it can help you avoid issues down the road. To learn more about this process, visit consultscarab.com and join their social network as well.